My husband and I are the definition of opposites attract. While we obviously have the same moral compass, we are very different in personality, and doing this one thing has helped us understand each other better in our relationship, and I wanted to share that with you guys today. Hi everybody and welcome to Chore With Me. I'm Hannah, and on this channel we simplify and organize life by decluttering our homes and hearts. If that's something that interests you, go ahead and click the subscribe button and don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you'll be alerted every time I upload a new video. I'm not a therapist or a counselor, I'm just a Canadian wife that has learned a thing or two about how to make a relationship a little bit better, and so I thought I would share that with you guys. When I was first married, I had this huge drive to be the perfect wife. And by perfect wife, I don't mean I never made any mistakes, but I wanted to do all the householdy things that wives sometimes do, and husbands can do them as well. But I really felt like I wanted to make sure that I took really good care of Michael. So I would pack his lunch and I would iron his clothes and I took out the trash more often than he did. And while he really appreciated my efforts and he would say thank you, I felt like he didn't express enough appreciation for all of the hard work that I was doing. I don't actually remember how it happened, but this book happened to cross our paths. This is an amazing book, and it literally talks about how people show love and give love to each other. Before reading this book, I never thought about how I give love or how I show love to Michael or how he does that to me. But once I read through this book, I feel like I had a serious aha moment, and things started to really make sense. I learned the secret of love. Now, there's not really any secret to love, but I did learn some extremely valuable information about me and about Michael. Before I read this book, I really didn't think about the ways that I showed love to people or the way that Michael, for instance, showed love to me. But there are different love languages, and couples don't necessarily have the same love language. In fact, a lot of times couples actually have different love languages. They show love to each other in different ways.
This analogy made a lot of sense to me. Most of us grow up speaking the language of our parents, so that's the language that we communicate in and that we understand. Now, this doesn't mean we can't learn other languages, but most people typically always feel most comfortable expressing themselves in their mother tongue or native tongue. But it takes a little bit more time to become fluent in the second language. Now, when you meet somebody that speaks a different primary language than you do and you're trying to communicate with them, it can be really frustrating, especially if you can't understand them and they can't understand you. And this is really similar when it comes to speaking love languages. If your partner speaks a different love language than you do, you might actually not completely understand them.
So the first thing we need to do is find out what our love language is, and then find out the love language of your partner. And that way we become more efficient and effective in actually showing each other that we love each other. Here are the 5 main ways that people show each other love: physical touch, words of affirmation, receiving gifts, acts of service, and quality time. So let's talk about each love language in just a little bit more detail. Physical touch, hand-holding, kissing. Having someone's presence near you is really important, and withholding affection when you're angry at someone can be really hurtful. Words of affirmation. This is using positive words to build somebody up. So when you say something negative and unkind to someone whose love language is words of affirmation, it can be especially hurtful and damaging. Quality time. Giving your significant other your undivided attention. That means no cell phones and not interrupting. It means you're having conversation, you're having eye contact, and you're listening to what the other person is saying to you. It's finding out what your significant other wants to do with you. Receiving gifts. A gift says, I was thinking about you, and often it's not the amount of money that was spent on the gift or how big the gift is, it's just the thought that counts. So when anniversaries and birthdays and special occasions are missed, this person can be extremely hurt by it. Acts of service. Doing something for your significant other that you know they would appreciate or that would help them out, like packing lunches and ironing clothes and taking out the trash. Broken commitments and laziness can be really difficult for someone whose love language is acts of service. After reading through those, it became really obvious that my love language was acts of service, and that's what I was doing to Michael all the time. He did the quiz and his love language was physical touch. There can be variations of love languages. Sometimes one person has one very prominent love language, and sometimes they have a couple of prominent love languages. There's definitely overlap. What I learned from reading this book is learn your partner's love language. It makes life so much better. You make a conscious choice to speak their love language to them instead of your love language to them. It helps keep their love tank full, and if they feel love from you, they will want to give that back to you as well. So I was definitely showing Michael my love language by making his lunches and ironing his clothes, when really what he probably needed was for me to come, cuddle on the couch, and just talk about our day together. Finding ways to express and show love to someone is only limited by your creativity and imagination, and some of us may need a little bit more help with that, and there are lots of examples in the book, and better yet, you can even just ask your significant other. If they've taken the quiz and they understand what their love language is, I'm sure they probably have some really great ideas for you. So you might be thinking, what really is the point of this video? The reason I think that this topic is important, knowing how you give love and how you receive love, is because it's super easy to love someone at the beginning of a relationship. Everything comes pretty naturally for most people, but then life happens, families happen, kids happen, jobs happen, and we can go through some really tough times in life. But if we know how to show our partner love and how to take care of them and make them feel valued, it can really help a lot. If love brought you together at the beginning of your relationship, you can keep love going 10, 15, or 20 years down the road. Now, my husband and I have only been married for 10 years, but we're aiming big, 50 years together. That's our goal. And I want to make sure that I love him through all the 50 years. Obviously, this whole process takes work. It's not easy, and it's also a bit of a selfless act to give someone love even when maybe you aren't receiving it back from them the way that you wish you could. But I think love is a choice. It's not just a feeling. When we do the actions, the feelings will follow. Find out what your love language is, find out what your partner's love language is, and then do something daily to show them that you love them. Over the years, you might find yourself losing love for people, but it can come back. And I think this is one of the methods that works. It's worked for a lot of people. If you're curious to know what your love language is, there is going to be a link in the description box below. Go ahead and click it and it will take you to the site where you can do a free love language quiz. The quiz takes about 10 to 15 minutes. It's super easy and quick to sign up. All you have to do is put in a little bit of information about you, whether you're single or married, whether you're an adult or a child, and then it will take you to the appropriate quiz that you can complete. And it is completely free. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it along to someone that you think can benefit from it. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.